What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very interesting Liverpool news video. What do you think about the news that came out that Liverpool released a statement which confirms that Liverpool's League Cup quarter-final tie with Aston Villa will not be moved, so it will be held just one day, 24 hours before Liverpool's Club World Cup semi-final, which is absolutely crazy. It blows my mind. FIFA career mode fixture congestion was realistic after all. Let me know in the comments below. What are your feelings about this news? Are you angry? Are you disappointed? Are you furious? Or do you even care about the Carabao Cup? I will be honest, I want Liverpool to win as many trophies as possible this season because Liverpool have potentially the best team that Liverpool had in the past 30 years. So I want to do what Manchester City did last season by winning every domestic trophy possible, and also we already have the European Super Cup in the bag alongside the Champions League. And I think this is very disappointing. So let's read first the statement and then we will analyze what it means and why Liverpool came to this conclusion with the governing bodies. So Liverpool Football Club can confirm that our League Cup quarter-final at Aston Villa will take place on December 17th, 2019. As a result, we will be utilizing two different playing squads simultaneously, with one squad participating in the FIFA Club World Cup in Qatar and another in the Carabao Cup. And the club would like to take this opportunity to underline that while this is not an ideal scenario, it is an outcome which was arrived at with the best interests of the competition, our fellow clubs, and ourselves as the sole motivating factor. We would like to thank the EFL for their efforts to accommodate us, and we can confirm alternative dates were discussed, but ultimately none were considered suitable without compromising the scheduling of the competition itself or placing an undue strain on our playing side. I mean, this is an absolutely nonsensical, ridiculous, I would dare to call it disgraceful scenario. How can you say that it was arrived, this decision, with the best interests of the competition? Surely the best interest of the Carabao Cup is for Liverpool to be able to field as strong a team as possible. And yes, we would have played the youngsters mostly, but remember that our League Cup last 16 tie with Arsenal, we still played some experienced players. We played Origi, we played Naby Keita, we played Lallana, we played James Milner. Surely those players will be off to Qatar to compete in the Club World Cup. And yes, Liverpool will probably field their entire under-23 side against Aston Villa, but that just destroys Liverpool's chance of going far in the competition. And I think what Jurgen Klopp wants is to avoid for Liverpool having to play two semi-finals in January, because there are two League Cup semi-finals in January, and this is where the problem lies, I think, because there would be enough time for Liverpool to play this quarter-final at a later date if the semi-finals wouldn't be two-legged semi-finals. And I don't understand why they still persist with two-legged semi-finals in the League Cup, when in the FA Cup and in a lot of other cup competitions around the world the semi-finals are only just one game, and in the League Cup every single round is just one game and the final is just one game. So why is the semi-final two games? I will tell you why. Money. Because of TV audiences and merchandise and everything, they can promote these two-legged semi-finals where usually at least one or two big clubs make it there. They can milk the fans and the TV audience as much money as possible, and I think they should really abolish this two-legged semi-final, because if it was just one leg and one game in the semi-final, this wouldn't be a problem. Liverpool could play the quarter-final in January and the semi-final as well if we make it through, and I just find this very ridiculous, and I want the young players to have another chance, another run out, and Aston Villa will probably field their first team because they will know they won't get a better chance of getting to the semi-finals of the League Cup than this one, honestly. And this is what Jurgen Klopp had to say about the whole scenario. So Jurgen Klopp said that Liverpool haven't yet decided how they will cope with playing 2 games in 24 hours in 2 different continents next month. I think Liverpool will focus on the Club World Cup. That's where we will go with full strength team and some substitutes as well. But I think we will keep maybe 1 or 2 experienced players, leaving them in England to play in the League Cup quarterfinal as well, because you can't just send in a bunch of kids. I think that Jurgen Klopp still would want to win that game as well. But the big question is, where will Jurgen Klopp be? I don't think he will stay in England, coach that game, and then fly over to Qatar. I think that maybe the assistant manager, Pep Yinders, will stay in England and manage that game against Aston Villa, and Jurgen Klopp will be in Qatar managing the Club World Cup semi-finals. And Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp have said this about the game. We asked Aston Villa if they would come to Qatar and we could play the game there. Of course he was joking here, but I think it's just funny. It just shows how ridiculous the whole situation is. And yeah, I would love to know your opinion about this whole issue. And Jurgen Klopp said, no, we don't know exactly yet how we will do it, but we have an idea how we do it, but it's too early to speak about that. We had to make a decision, and we have made a decision now, because all the other alternatives were more problems than solutions and didn't work out. So what Jurgen Klopp didn't want to do is postpone this game, this League Cup game, to a later date, so it clashes with Premier League games, with Champions League games, with FA Cup games, because those are important competitions for Liverpool. The League Cup is not really that important. I think it's very clear. Jurgen Klopp said that he respects the League Cup, but he doesn't really like that there are 2 semi-finals. He said that repeatedly, not just this season, but in previous seasons as well. So I think Jurgen Klopp wouldn't be too disappointed if we went out of the League Cup in the quarter-final stage, and the young players will of course get another chance to shine. And I think Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Ryan Brewster, Nico Williams, they played so well against Arsenal. I'm really looking forward to what they can do against Aston Villa, a really tough ground to go to for these young players, but that will be a good experience for them. So Jurgen Klopp continued with this. All the rest we have a bit of time to think about. We have more important things to do now. We had the game to concentrate on against Genk, and the next game to concentrate on against Manchester City. But in these next couple of weeks, we will make a decision how it will exactly look. But in the end, we will play a Liverpool team 100%. And Jurgen Klopp even threatened to withdraw from the competition, but I think we wanted to avoid that, because that would just look bad if Liverpool just said, we won't even play the game against Aston Villa. That would really rile up the authorities. That would potentially land Liverpool in hot waters, maybe a big fine and other punishments. So I think that Liverpool will want to fulfill their fixture. And we would have played the kids anyway, this is my main point. But we would have probably played 3 or 4 experienced players against Aston Villa. At this rate, I think maybe maximum 1 or 2 experienced players, and the rest will go to Qatar. By the way, why on earth are we playing the Club World Championship in Qatar? What does it have to do with it, with the competition? I will tell you, I think it's about money. It's about money. Why Qatar is hosting the World Cup? It's the same answer probably. So yeah, I really hope that that Liverpool win the Club World Championship, because Liverpool have never won that competition, and it has a very big prestige around the world, and also you get a very nice shiny gold badge saying the best team in the world on your kit from the point that you win it until 1 year later, when the next Club World Championship is held. And Real Madrid has been playing in that lovely kit of having that golden badge for like 4 years, because they won the Champions League 3 years in a row. And Jurgen Klopp was actually asked whether Liverpool Football Club were put under pressure by either FIFA or the Football League to play in the competition. And And this is what Jurgen Klopp answered, and I think this is very interesting. Did they say we must do it? Kind of. Do you really want to be in trouble with FIFA? I'm not sure. Do you want to really be in trouble with the English Football League? Probably not. We respect the competitions. It sounds like we don't want to play in the Carabao Cup, but that's not actually true. What I don't like about the Carabao Cup is 2 legs in the semi-finals, 2 games in the semi-finals. I don't understand that because it's in a very busy period. I don't like it. All the rest is a nice competition. We don't play the FA Cup in the first part of the season, so that's all okay. The Club World Cup you play in only if you win the Champions League. That doesn't happen in your life 5 million times, and that means we take the opportunity. Is it the best time of the year? No, it's pretty busy. December is always hectic in England, but we are going there. We try to play all the games we have with all what we have, so we can count on all the players. Now there is the situation where nobody had an idea. You should really think about these things before you start the season, because this isn't the only problem here for the Carabao Cup. If you have to replay in the FA Cup, which I don't like honestly, and you go through in the Carabao Cup to the final, we had that 3 or 4 years ago when we were at West Ham in the FA Cup and people were hoping we didn't go through. You can't work like that you hope somebody goes out of a competition so everything turns out fine. Maybe it's a reason why the teams are going out, because nobody knows how it will work if you go through to the next round. And Jurgen Klopp also has a very good point here, that it's all well and good that the FA Cup has this tradition that if there is a draw, there is a replay. But remember, when the FA Cup started, and for the first 80 years of the FA Cup's history, there were no League Cups around. League Cup didn't exist until 1965 or something like that. And I think that now the FA Cup also shouldn't have any replays, because can you imagine if Liverpool go to the League Cup final and also in the FA Cup we will have a 3rd round draw and then a replay? I mean, how the hell do the authorities think that you can fit all these games into the calendar, but also every month there is one international break, usually with 2 games and the whole 2-week break? It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's absolutely crazy. They are milking the footballers dry, trying to get as much money and as many games out of them as possible. And I'm sorry, but the footballers will get tired, they will get injured. You will have subpar games sometimes, because it's just not possible to play this many games on the highest level. I don't care how much money footballers earn in the Premier League. You can't. There are physical limits to what a human body can achieve, and we shouldn't overstretch these top players. And I really truly fear that the Liverpool players will get overplayed this season, and we will get injuries in the second part of the season, and that could be the difference between Liverpool winning the Premier League or losing the title race. And I really fear for that. I really hope it doesn't happen, but who knows. Klopp continued, we tried to ignore this time against Arsenal. The boys just wanted to play football, and that's why we qualified for the quarterfinals. But before the game, it was clear that things could become very difficult. I don't want to cancel competitions. I'm from Germany. Why would I want to cancel English competitions? But it should still be possible to talk about the problems, and that's what I did, and find solutions. Some people don't like that, but I can't change that. The problems are obvious. Every year we do the same thing again, and some people find it funny. Look at that. They have to play 5 games in 3 days, and let's see how that works out. We cannot carry on like this. Come on. That's why I ask for us to sit at the table, the Premier League, the FIFA, the EFL, everybody together, and find a solution, because these solutions so far sound to me like another problem, and that's not a solution. And I fully agree with Jurgen Klopp. This has to stop. This can't continue, because yes, Liverpool have a big squad. Yes, the top clubs have big squads, but still we shouldn't overplay our star players because of these scheduling issues. But yeah, let me know what do you think about this. in the comments below. And Divock Origi has said some interesting things about the Liverpool-Manchester City game on the weekend. I'm already absolutely buzzing for that game on Sunday. It will be a nerve-wracking game, but I'm really looking forward to it because I think we can beat Manchester City. We are their bogey side, so let's hope that we can do it. And Divock Origi said this: "We know we still have some important games, but it was crucial for us to win against Genk, and everyone knew it, so we are happy we did it. I think this weekend is going to be a big game. We have already played a couple of times against each other, against Man City, so we are all looking forward to it. I am just progressing, feeling stronger game by game, trying to help the team more and more. I'm finding my ways, finding the routines, how the guys play, and I think you can tell on the pitch as well. I'm growing, trying to be more efficient in the last quarter, which is coming slowly but steadily. I always see it as being the best I can be, and I love the fact we have so much quality, because that is what helped us win the Champions League. That is going to help us be successful, and if everyone is at their best, then the choice is nothing new. It is on the coach, and we all try to make the choice as difficult as possible for the coach." And Jurgen Klopp said this about the Genk victory: "The most important thing is that we won and nobody is injured. The result is because we didn't finish our situations off like we should and could have done. That keeps the game pretty exciting and left Genk pretty much alive. We could have scored goals already in the first half. It was clear it will be a bit tricky in some departments because the front three never played together in these positions and in a formation like this. But we wanted to have Ox between the lines, to give him the space to turn and run and face the last line, giving us options right and left. That worked out pretty well sometimes. We could have scored more often and that would have completely changed the game, but then they scored the goal, a really nice goal. Of course we could have defended better, but it was still a really good goal. First half done and you have to start new. We scored again a really nice goal, but didn't finish the other situations off. That keeps them alive. The longer the game goes, the more the momentum goes to the other team. If you don't finish your situations off. I think Alisson had to make one save once or twice. They didn't really push up in the last line, which meant they could play a pass into the box, but nothing happened. That was the game. Job done is the headline from the game pretty much. But the group is not decided yet. We knew from the beginning it's a tough group. Yes, now we are first in the table, but we really want to be first after the last match day. We have to play 2 tough games, 2 important ones. In each of them we can decide it with a win, but that sounds easier than it is because both games will be really tricky. And I'm really looking forward to it. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, I'm so happy for this man. He waited a whole year, and you can't underestimate how mentally very tough, hard and challenging it is to be out for a full year and to come back and to never give up and to work hard in the gym for a whole year just to be back playing football. And Oxlade-Chamberlain is getting better and better game by game. This is what he said: "I feel like I'm getting better, but when I took one on the ankle and went down, I was a bit disappointed because usually when I feel sharp, I managed to get past him there. I maybe underestimated him a little bit, but they are the type of moments where I feel like I've not just quite got that fully back yet. I feel like I need to be sharper in those moments, to burst through and get running, change things, break lines. I think that's coming. I'm getting my feeling back with that. I've been trying to sort of dribble a bit more and get that side of my game back, because that sort of stuff can take a bit of a while when you have been out for a while. Overall, I think there's more to come for me, for sure. To get into the team, you've got to be able to press hard in a certain way with a certain intensity. I take the Tottenham game. The way that Gini, Hendo and Fabinho did it in that game was brilliant. Even the boys up front as well were second to none. So you look at that and they are the sort of standards that we set for that. If you are not sort of hitting those standards, then you will struggle to get a game regularly. So I've been battling to try to get that side of things back. I think I can improve on that. Also on my attackings as well, I think I can improve on that. But I'm confident it will come. I will keep working as hard as I can. I will make sure it comes. That's all I can do. And in the meantime, it's just good to be back and involved, helping the boys win and keeping this team moving forward in any way I can, like everyone does. I think it's coming, but I'm not there yet. Brilliant interview by Ox, and I think he was outstanding against Genk, and he's only going to get better, hopefully. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.